What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about makeup for your virtual meeting, your virtual happy hour, your Zoom, your Teams, whatever platform you're using. Maybe you're on a virtual date. I've definitely done that. So I've put together just a few things that are my daily makeup products. I've really honed in on what works for me, and I keep it on the side of my vanity in this tray right here, which I'm going to very carefully show you because it's only all toppled onto itself about 3 times. So this is only toppled over about 4 times. Okay, we're really close to toppling, but this is my makeup caddy right here. It's just a little tray that has sections in it that I got at Home Goods for probably like 10 bucks. And I've got blushes, powder, highlight, all my foundations. I don't know how I'm going to take a screenshot in this, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to show you. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That helps people find my videos, which is awesome. As you can see, this is already my day-to-day look that I have put together. So if you'd like to know how I got this look with my go-to quarantine virtual meeting makeup products, then just keep on watching. All right, let's go ahead and get into our Zoom meeting look. I don't really want to call it a look because it just is what it is, you know? Like, you gotta look professional and presentable. I've already moisturized. I use a serum from Pixi, the Skin Treats Clarity Concentrate Clarifying Serum, and the Art Naturals, I got it at Target. Art Naturals Skincare Retinol Cream Age Defense and Moisturizing Formula. I picked both of these up recently. I wanted to try something with a little bit more retinol in it just for anti-aging. I like it a lot. It's definitely like a cream moisturizer, which I haven't used in a minute. I still use a gel moisturizer, but I really like this, and I can definitely tell a difference in my skin since I've started using it, and also the Pixi. It's really helped with my clarifying my skin and clearing out some acne I've got on my chin that I've been dealing with for a while now. So it also has vitamin E and green tea in it, so that's kind of nice. It doesn't have a smell really, just kind of a basic moisturizer, but I've already used both of those. I used the serum first and then the moisturizer. These are my everydays, and I've probably already said that a million times, but these are my everydays in this day and age where the only time anybody's seeing me is if I'm going, you know, to the grocery store, I'm on a call, or, you know, I go to Target, something like that. So I've really honed in on what is necessary and what I need or want day to day. So I've got a couple options, like I've got a couple foundation options, concealer options, blush, bronzer, and lip options. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my eyebrows. I've definitely got mascara options because I'm weird about that. I've got a few options, and then sometimes I'm like, nope, this is all I use. Like for my brows, I use 2 things. That's it. Don't usually switch it up. So it's kind of a little mix, but I like having everything very organized and like right on the, you know, on my bathroom sink right there next to me. For me, it's after the work day, but we have this happy hour. So I do want to put on a little something for the happy hour because I've been sitting around in a hat all day as we've had our virtual meetings. And I just want to look a little bit more presentable than what I've got currently going on. So let's get started. My sponge is wet, but I'm going to go in first with so I have 2 here. I'm just going to use 1. I have the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This was a sample that I got in maybe a BoxyCharm. I do like the Backlight Priming Filter probably better, but this is what I've got, and it gives me a nice glow underneath. I also have a poreless primer, so a little bit more of a silicone pore filling primer. So I have 2 options just depending on how I feel like going. I'm gonna take a little bit of the priming filter. I'm actually almost out of this. I need to just bite the bullet and buy the bigger bottle, but I don't want to. All right, so for Zoom meeting or any sort of Teams or something like that, a virtual meeting, heavier makeup doesn't really intrigue me. So I'm going to go in with the Pixi H2O Skin Tint. It is a tinted face gel. in the shade Warm. It's a tad warm for me. The other 3 that I have on here, and I did narrow it down. Actually, I have 4 more. Never mind. So I have 5 foundations in this little caddy here, which I like all for different reasons. If you like foundations, you know that you like each one of them for a different reason. So this is my go-to for a lighter coverage. Next lightest, but then a closer to medium, would be the Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector. This is a medium. I like this for a little bit more than light coverage. This does give a little bit more coverage for me. Next up would be the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation Brightening Complex. So this is like a doe foot applicator, and I just do like maybe 3 or 4 dots on my cheeks, same on my forehead, and then like nose and chin. And this is just kind of a little bit of a step up from the One and Done. The Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation definitely gives a more natural look. I would say this is probably the next step up from the Physicians Formula. I'm in 310 Golden Sand. It says digital blue light filter on there. I had no idea it would be blocking blue light from my face, but good to know. This is definitely a very luminous foundation. I like the coverage of it. I would say it's definitely that medium to full. So that's a good go-to for that. And then the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear, been around a minute. Definitely the most full coverage one I have up here. If I'm going to go to dinner or I'm going to, you know, be filming a video, I would probably use something a little bit more full coverage like this. One of the other things I do like about this is it is a pump. Because it's such a light gel formula, I'm going to take it and dot it. The sponge tends to absorb it. I'll sometimes put this on with my hands, which is not super like the best way to put on foundation, but it typically gives a little bit more full coverage than a sponge does, because since this is so light, this sponge can soak some of it up. So a brush or your fingertips sometimes work better. And sometimes when I'm really in a pinch, this is what I use, because I can literally squirt it in my hand, literally rub it on my face, throw on some, you know, concealer and some mascara, brows, and I can be out the door pretty quickly. So there's not a lot of blending that typically goes on with this one. But it just kind of gives like a nice natural finish, not too full coverage, not full coverage whatsoever. All right, I have 2 concealers. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Cafe Con Leche, or Light 2.6. This is a lighter coverage concealer for me, so typically the one I will use with this if I'm going a little heavier or want a little bit more coverage under my eyes, I go for Tarte Shape Tape. Currently I'm using light medium. So I'm going to blend this in, just doing it under my eyes. Kind of bringing it down a little bit on my cheeks to blend it in. A little bit of brightness on the forehead, nose, and chin. So it just adds a little bit more of that, like a coverage layer. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I have 3 products in here right now, only because I've been kind of playing with one, kind of testing it out. But right now, 100% of the time, well, 99.9% of the time, I'm using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in Dark Brunette and the Glossier Boy Brow in brown. Yep, brown. So go with my pencil first. I think brows really pull a look together. You know, even with just this lighter foundation, you could go in just with a brow gel and be perfectly fine. But there's just something about filling them in, giving them a little bit of shape that creates a more put together look, I think. And then with just like a brow gel, it gives you looks. So for me, when I have a meeting over the computer, just filling in my brows really just makes me feel like my look is a little bit more complete. All right, so I'm gonna take the brow gel and just run this through, give them a little fluff. The other brow product I have in here that I picked up when I got the boy brow again was the Glossier Brow Flick in brown. I like the idea. I need a little more help, I think, than the Brow Flick. So it's just got this really almost just felt tip kind of pin look to it. And you're supposed to be able to create brow hairs with it. So that takes a little bit more extra time, a little time consuming. So it's fun to play with and to create something, but if you got the time, maybe that'd be a great thing to use. I have 3 bronzers that I keep in here. I have the Too Faced Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer in Sweet Tea. So this is going to give me more of a summery glow. It's got like a little bit of sheen in there. And then recently I got in a BoxyCharm the Aesthetica Sunset Bronzer, which I really like. It's definitely more of like a grayish brown. You notice that. It's great, I think, for contouring. And then I have the Lily Lolo Honolulu Pressed Bronzer, or Pressed Bronzer in Honolulu. So a little bit more dark than the Aesthetica. You can see it's a little bit darker of a shade. So I am just really trying out the Aesthetica, but I've been using the Lily Lolo and the Too Faced the most. So a little bit more of both of these are a little bit more of a contour color, where the Too Faced is a little bit more of a bronzy color. So I'm going to go with the Aesthetica today because I've really been enjoying it. A little bronzer, warm up the face. And you really could do, from here, you could do mascara and be done. Like, you don't need blush, highlight, all that. You could use a bronzer, you know, a nice glowy bronzer, and it would give the illusion of a highlight, and you really don't need blush, you know. For the sake, we're gonna do it. I have 3 blushes here. So I have the Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon, and then I have the Milani Luminoso. So you can see a little bit more pink. This one definitely has a sheen to it. This one's more matte. The Lily Lolo Pressed Blush in Just Peachy. So you can see a little bit darker of a color. All right, I'm gonna go on this side. And again, you could stop here because you've got something that's a little bit more sheeny. I have 2 highlights, but one I use as an eyeshadow. So I have the RMS Beauty Magic Luminizer. So it's a pot luminizer, so it's a cream. I don't typically use it on my cheeks. I will use it on my eyes. I also have the, don't mind that it is broken in half, but the Essence Pure Nude Highlight in Be My Highlight. It's not a hidden gem because most people know about it, but it's like, you know, super inexpensive. I do have a palette that I keep next to my little vanity, on my vanity, with this tray. I still don't know what to call it. With this little array of makeup. I keep the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. It's got everything I need. I typically stay along this side of the colors here. I'm using Orange Soda, Burnt Orange, Dusty Rose, Tempera a lot, and then maybe I'll use Rustic or Cypress Umber, these 2 darker brown colors for, you know, an outer corner or something like that, but typically staying right around in here, which is pretty easy. And then, like I said, I will use the RMS Beauty Luminizer on my eyelid as well, just kind of as an all over, and then take a powder. I think I'm just gonna take quickly, I used the Luminoso from Milani Blush. I'm going to use that on my eyes today because that is what I would normally do. I don't typically use this. I just have it there in case. And the color payoff from the blush is really excellent. So we'll do that. Sometimes I'll take the Pure Nude Highlight and dab it on my eyelids and then just kind of buff it out. So I haven't really been typically using an eyeliner. So we're going to go straight to mascara. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mascaras. All right. I have the Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara. I have the waterproof version of that. And I have 2 tubing mascaras. I have the Glossier Lash Slick. I'm going to go with the Too Faced tonight since we don't need it to be super long lasting because this happy hour isn't going to be long. We're going to be taking off our makeup in about 2 hours. I'm going to use the Glossier Lash Slick for my lower lash. So I have a very, very old, I almost am embarrassed to show you this because the packaging is so old and you probably don't even know this is a Clinique product. But I have a very, very old Clinique lipstick here. I do have the closest shade that I could find this day and age, and that's the one I'm going to use today. So it just kind of gives it like a nice nude, but like slightly pink. Last but not least, and my most used, because I can't even roll it up anymore, I'm digging my finger down into it, is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss. Smells so dang good. I'm gonna eventually have to put it in my empties bin. I do have a powder in here that I'll sometimes use if I'm gonna be going out, especially here in the South. Super hot right now, super humid, so we need all the shine help we can get. I use the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder, so I just keep this right here as well, and it's got this little enclosure on it, so I just pop that open, tap my brush into this little net here, and usually just my cheeks and my forehead. That's my quarantine makeup. That's my Zoom meeting put together real quick. Look like I did something to my face with some, you know, did a lot without a lot of effort kind of look. I'm gonna list everything I used below, and let me know your go-to virtual meeting, virtual happy hour, makeup tips, makeup looks. If you don't wear makeup at all, good for you, you know, rock it, who cares? I can't forget the proper virtual meeting outfit, which is a, you know, of course, a nice top, sweater, tank top, whatever you've got going on, button up, depending on how fancy or how, you know, non-business casual your job is. But I have on just this little crop top that is cinched. Nobody will probably see from here down. And then of course, either sweatpants or some pajama pants to really round out the look. So nobody knows, you know? And then of course, for your virtual happy hour, your beverage of choice, whether that be your water, your seltzer, your tea, your wine, or your beer. So cheers, guys. I hope you're having a good one. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you're well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. This was a dumb idea.